gang, gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family. Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. It's the gang till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We the I don't give a fuck in our veins, man. Me and my fans, we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com. Hey there, meteorologist Tuttle back with you here on a Tuesday night. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube and on Facebook. We're talking about the storm system coming in for the weekend in the Arctic area. We'll see what new is in the model data. We'll see if anything's changed. If it's looking better, worse, where is it shifted to direction-wise and amounts and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get into all that and more. So please like and share this video. Tell your friends and family about AT's weather. I appreciate that. And we're going to get right on into it. Now, during the day, by the way, you will notice on your Facebook live broadcast, it'll say something about stars. So I've got a goal for 1 million stars, and we're almost there. We're like 60% there. So we're like this close. So if you want to play the stars game, do that on Facebook. And YouTube has something different. They got like a super chat feature there that you're more than welcome to participate in. And there's going to be some kind of stars party that'll pop up sometime, maybe during this evening. I did a lunchtime live today, and it had popped up, and I was like, a stars party? What's a stars party? So I don't know. You might see that flashing around, so if you do, now you know. Okay, so let's get on with the snow, shall we? First off, by the way, let me post this link. If you'd like to get notified when I do go live, click the link I just now posted in the Facebook drop down for the comment section, and that will get you a direct notification from me through your Facebook Messenger. So I actually send that out personally to notify you, because Facebook doesn't always notify you when I go live. So if you're having some trouble, look at there, activate a stars party. You see that? Or I see it. I don't know what that means, but it's go time. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So let's do it, whatever that means. So Angela sent me some stars, so did Callie. I appreciate it. Gretchen's in the house with some stars tonight, so we'll see what that stars party does. It's a new thing that Facebook is doing. I see you, Matt. Appreciate you. Okay, so temperatures outside right now, of course, they're a little on the cool side. I got 45 degrees here at my thermometer in my backyard. So we are expecting to see some more cooler temperatures at night for the next couple of nights, and then some more, I'd say mild days. Today was pretty nice in the 60s, and tomorrow will be the same kind of deal. But here's a look at what the big story is for the weekend. So this was just plotted by the National Weather Service not long ago, and they're highlighting the fact that we're going to have wind chill values below zero in a large area here of western and northern Oklahoma. Exception to the rule way down south. And this is just a little taste of the big change in the weather that we're coming our way. All right, so here's a look at, first off, the rainfall we had last night, early this morning, has moved off around lunchtime. A new round is coming in here for this evening, late out in the northwestern Texas, and that'll cross over the Red River into Oklahoma by daybreak tomorrow. So at 7 o'clock tomorrow, we should have some light showers moving through central and southern Oklahoma. These are very, very light. They won't amount to much at all. Now, there is a little caveat here. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you see these little indices of pink here? So what the models are doing is they're catching onto the cold air, advecting in overnight tonight, and they're saying, you know what, on this northern fringe of the moisture, so basically Canadian County, let's say toward Guthrie, Bartlesville, Stillwater, into southeastern Kansas. A little band here on the northern fringe may just a touch get a little bit of freezing rain and drizzle. Very light freezing rain, very light freezing drizzle in this area. Now, if that would be the case, just be careful on bridges and overpasses. That's the only threat you would have at all, and it would be for the mid-morning hour. So just keep that in mind if you're driving out and about and your car thermometer says 32 or less. You're going to need to keep in mind that that is on the table just for a very short period of time. I mean, it's a very small window. It's not all that great, but it is there. Otherwise, you can see the rainfall moves through central Oklahoma through lunchtime tomorrow, and then out across eastern Oklahoma by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is done. If you want to see what we're talking about with accumulations with rainfall, just kind of give you an idea of these little streaks here, is anywhere from about a couple hundredths to maybe about a tenth of an inch of rain. So like I mentioned, precipitation is not going to be heavy at all with this. And if you want to look at potential for any of the freezing drizzle accumulations or light freezing rain, you can see barely some gray shaded areas, a couple of hundredths showing up here. We're in the Bartlesville area, Stillwater. So that's where the model's favoring the highest accumulation up here north and west of Tulsa. So bridges and overpasses, I'll say it again, there's a little spot out here west of Canadian County, little highlight there and out toward Elk City. So that is the absolutely worst case scenario. So again, this is not the big event for the weekend. This is just kind of a little mini ditty coming in for early tomorrow. All right, all that said and done, we are talking about let's just say a change, which is typical, which is a faster frontal passage. So we call it a frontal passage. Anyway, so the Arctic front for Friday night and a Saturday morning is kind of like this. We're at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's already through the panhandle of Oklahoma and northwest Oklahoma to Woodward, and of course into Kansas. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're still in the mid-50s here in Oklahoma City by the time 6 o'clock rolls around, and then the front blasts through. So there's a 9 o'clock in the morning. We've already dropped to 25 degrees. So Saturday's going to be a brutal day. You won't want to be outdoors. 30s make their way all the way into southern and southeastern Oklahoma by lunchtime. We're into the 20s and even some teens up here in the northern parts of the state for the afternoon on Saturday. And there's Saturday 6 p.m. We're 20 degrees here in Oklahoma City, 16 degrees in Ponca City, and then we drop into the single digits by 9 o'clock Saturday evening on into the midnight hour in this area here. Coldest because the model seems to think we're going to have some snow to talk about. All right, we'll get that here in just 2 shakes. But meanwhile, about 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, there's our coldest of the colds. We've got the teens out there, 12 degrees in Bartlesville, 6 degrees Ponca City and Enid. Again, this banking on a little bit of snow on the ground, and but that is some actual air temperatures. Now, when you factor in the wind with this, the cold, stiff north wind she blows, wind chill values, just so you know, during the event, into the negative numbers, like we talked about at the start of this broadcast. So all that purple is all below zero. This is Saturday morning, Saturday lunchtime, Saturday afternoon, 3, 6 o'clock. So you can see that the worst will be across the northern, northwestern parts of the state into Kansas, but the rest of the state is going to see some brutal wind chill value, especially Saturday evening on into Saturday night and Sunday morning, where we have some purple showing up here around Oklahoma City metro area, which is right around 0 degrees is what it's going to feel like. So there you go. The wind chill value is only affected, by the way, because some people get confused on this, it only matters to people. Now, I guess you could say it matters to pets, but it is a people thing, so it's a feeling of evaporation that comes off your skin, so it gives you a different apparent temperature. Inanimate objects like pipes and all that kind of stuff, they don't care about the wind. All they care about is the actual ambient temperature. So when you're talking about pipe bursting and stuff like that, when you get down to a 0 wind chill, it's not important. What's important is the actual temperature, which if you're about 15 degrees or 17 degrees, I think was the magic number around this part of the country, for about a 24-hour period, you're going to have some pipes bursting. But that's a long period of time. We're not going to be in that, thank goodness. Okay, so let's go to the upper levels of the atmosphere. Let's take a look at the jet stream pattern. We'll get focused on the system that's coming in for Friday night. So here is a look at about 3 o'clock in the morning. A little mini upper level low here, so a very strong system that's kicking through ahead of the long wave trough, and this is what's going to generate the storm, the heavy rainfall, mixing with some sleet and some snow across the state Friday night into early Saturday morning. It's a quick mover. So again, that's like about 3 o'clock in the morning. This is 6 a.m. So the big bulk of this is already quickly moving through the state overnight. which means the bulk of the first round of precipitation is going to be probably well before, let's say, early morning hours on Saturday. So more of a Friday night time frame. So this is a little faster than we looked at in the model data, both on the blog on Sunday and also in our live last night. Today at lunchtime, we kind of talked about a little change in that regard. Now, for Saturday afternoon, the rest of the storm system comes through, but is coming through, and we've gone back and forth, and this is a long wave trough, or even maybe a short wave trough. So, point being is, it's not a closed low. You need a closed low to really crank up the precipitation amount. So, we don't have that now. Again, the models are going back and forth, and they will continue to do so. We're just looking at how they look at tonight to see how things are shaping up. So how does that play out for you? Let's take a look here at the Friday. Start Friday afternoon. So here's Friday evening. Some light precipitation starting to break out here across the frontal zone up in northern Oklahoma. Light rain develops elsewhere here across the body of the state, kind of scattered in nature for Friday night into the early morning hours on Saturday. So your New Year's Eve, the way the trend is going is it might be just a little damp around midnight hour if things are progressing as planned. So just kind of keep that in mind. You might have to have some light rain gear and umbrella just for some light showers. Nothing heavy at this point, but we'll keep watching it for you. At least mild on temperatures. Now, after that period from midnight onward, this is where we get that mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow across northwest Oklahoma, so just north and west of Enid to Woodward, out toward the Panhandle, and into Kansas at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then by 6 a.m., we have that wrapping up here across north central, northwestern Oklahoma, and Kansas again. So Kansas getting the bulk of the winter precipitation based off the American model for right now. We'll see if this shifts any. Because remember, last night it was focused in southern Oklahoma and north Texas, including Dallas. That's a huge difference to shift from that to now northern Oklahoma and into central Kansas. So we should have some time to massage this data and to see which way it's going to settle. But right now, the bulk of the activity is now shifted into northern Oklahoma for Friday night into Saturday morning. All right, now by the time we head to mid-morning on Saturday, remember that upper level system I showed you? Since it's gone, it's quickly moving. You see how it takes precipitation along with it. And the wraparound for Saturday evening into Saturday night, not showing up because it's not a closed low anymore. If that changes, it becomes more of a closed low, well then this outcome will change and we'll get a secondary push of some precipitation. So what that means is for snowfall amounts as of now, again, these will change. I've told you this the last couple broadcasts, and it still will. I only show this to give you the magnitude of what potentially is on the table because it's going to fluctuate quite a bit. And really what we're interested in is the signal, right? I'm interested in a snow signal, yes or no. And I'm interested in, is it a very light snow signal like a dusting, or is it a snow signal such as measurable? Those are the only two things I will look for this far out. And that's the only thing you should ever take home when you see these stuff shown on social media or on watching other weather broadcasts. Those are the two take-homes you need. The rest of it won't matter. All right, so meanwhile, it does have a few inches of snow accumulating up here in northwest Oklahoma, so it's a good signal. When it comes to the freezing rain and sleet, yeah, it's got a little bit of that too, so that signal is still there. It's now shifted more to the north, though. It's now in southern Kansas and in northwest Oklahoma, a little bit here in Canadian County and points north and west to Kingfisher. So again, parts of central Oklahoma. So we shall see. This again will also change with time. Now, we are looking at temperatures to stay pretty nice, as we talked about during the afternoon hours for the next couple of days. Then that big front comes in Friday night, so look for falling temperatures on Saturday. So Saturday will be a miserable day. The model tries to pick a low and a high, but this is silliness. It says 26 and 41. I mean, if you want to really experience warm weather, don't go to bed. Stay up after midnight, get a taste of it. It'll probably still be in the low 60s by that point. But when you wake up Saturday morning, it's coat time. It stays coat time for the rest of the day with falling temperatures. And then on Sunday morning, we're at 12 degrees. It does rebound rather quickly, so that's the good news with this. So yeah, the weekend's brutal, but after that, here's Monday. We're already back approaching 50 degrees and maybe even hitting 60s again briefly for next week before another cold front looks like it may try to sneak on in here toward the end of the following weekend. Now, this is a look at Oklahoma City. Tulsa, similar idea. Just a brutal day for Saturday. No big change there. Maybe not quite as cold on on some of the temperatures just by a hair, but otherwise we're pretty much same as Oklahoma City and really elsewhere in the body of the state. The only exception really is going to be if we get some significant snow that's measurable into northern and northwest Oklahoma by a few inches, and that will help to create those temperatures to be a little bit colder, especially at nighttime, because you get radiational cooling, and during the day, it's the albedo of the snow, the white of the snow reflects the solar radiation, so it doesn't get as hot in that area. A lot of the energy is used to melt the snow versus heating the air temperature. So it always stays colder during the day in the snowpack, and at nighttime it's also colder at night. So but at least does insulate any vegetation. I guess that's a positive. So if you do get snow, that's the situation. So there you go. Castillo's in Dallas. He's already probably asking, are we going to get it in Dallas? He's already asking for severe weather. Severe weather? You're wanting severe weather? Come on, man. No severe weather, I don't believe. Earlier you had some snow in the forecast, but the system's pretty far to the north right now, the way things are looking. So we'll see if that stays the same. So we'll check out the model days we're heading tomorrow. So I did a lunchtime live today. I'm probably will do a lunchtime live a couple more times this week. I may do it every day. I'm not sure yet. But if I do, it's usually right about 15 minutes before noon. I usually try to shoot for. And then if it's in the evening here, which it should be also this week, I'll try to aim for about 9:20, 9:30, somewhere right around there. And if you want to get notified, again, hit the bell on YouTube. So just tap the bell. That'll notify you when I go live. And then on Facebook, if it's not going to tell you, you can join in, opt in for me to tell you directly through your Facebook Messenger. On YouTube, I see you, Theodore. He wants to know all about tornado threats, severe weather threats, all the way to the January. We do get severe weather just about every month of the year across the United States, so it can happen at any time. By the way, welcome as a top fan over there on YouTube. But each individual system is different. There are no two systems alike. There's certain ingredients that need to be present for any situation, and I think, middle of this week, is it tomorrow? I need to go back and look. But the severe weather threats for the southeastern part of the country, there's a slight risk of severe storms there, but nothing here in Oklahoma or North Texas or Kansas. We just have a winter storm to talk about. Let me think. And then long term, we did this last night. So if you guys missed last night's discussion, we did take a very long extended look at the winter weather season as far as snow for Oklahoma, and also like the seasonal temperatures. And I warned you, it's a grain of salt. It's a lot like, really, it's like a dartboard. The long range forecasts and stuff are terrible from the model data, but they give it their best shot. So energy traders use it to try to get a leg up. It's like going to Vegas. If you can beat the house odds by just a couple of tenths of a percent, you come out ahead, right? Same idea in the weather forecasting business. So that's why they do that stuff, and a lot of times there's very little skill or very little to show for it, but you got to try it, right? But long range, the European ensemble did have Oklahoma seeing some snow this season beyond this weekend. So it did have us in an average look to at least a few inches here in central Oklahoma. So, in other words, we should be getting some more snow before the season is over. So, in other words, it won't be a dry, snowless winter. Let's put it that way. That's about your only take home you can get from that at this point in time. So, there you go. All right. Well, I see you, Michael, down there in Dallas. Try to send you some snow eventually. Dallas, it's hard to do. Even as a kid, man, I couldn't get it while I was there. So, it was hard to get it. We'll see what we can work up, though. We'll see if this storm system shifts directions any over the next day or so, and we'll see if the strength changes as well. What we're really, if you want more snow, what you need to hope for is a track that brings it. Depends on where you live, of course. If you want it over Dallas, North Texas, you need to bring the track of the upper low into North Texas. So basically along the I-20 corridor, all right. And you want it to be a closed upper low. Right now, it's an open trough. Open trough means less precipitation, less action. Still get some, but it's less, right? Now, and then the track, if you want it for Oklahoma, well, you got to get it to the Red River. And then that opens up the door for most of Oklahoma to get a good snow. And keep in mind, sometimes these things can only be about 150, 200 miles wide of any measurable precipitation, like a north to south boundary. And then beyond that, it's, feast or famine. So it can be very small little lines. It's just like precipitation and thunderstorms. You get a nice little thin line of storms, and then nobody else sees hardly anything. Same thing with snow. So we'll just kind of figure it out as we go along. Lacey's got the weather app. Awesome. So keep that in mind if driving from Oklahoma City to the Panhandle, Florida. Oh, Lacey. Okay, tell you what. Yes. Okay, I'll tell you what, Lacey. Since you have my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, and you're traveling, you're going to be using it to stay safe. Let's talk about those severe weather storms in the southeast since you're heading to Florida, and we'll see where they lie, and then we're going to get out of here. How about that? All right, so let me go pull up a map here real quick. All right, so let's go. What do I want to do? Let's start with this first. All right, so we're going to pull up the Storm Prediction Center just to show you where they have the severe weather outlook, and that is out here across the eastern, it's east of us. So they do have like a little green for southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, but that's just for thunderstorms in general, not for severe weather, just for some lightning probably. Now the tornado threat, they do have a 2% ring, a very large one across a large area from basically, let's see, Tennessee down to east side of Arkansas, Alabama. It doesn't go to Florida, so you will have to, your threat of storms is in between. So now let's take a look at the model data for that, and we're going to have to go, let's see, what do I want? Which one did I have? This one. So we'll do this. All right. And we'll time this out to find out where the trouble is. So let me get this loaded up. So hang tight here for a second. Okay, so it's got some thunderstorms here this evening and tonight in that area. I don't see any helicity tracks with that indicating rotation that would produce some large hail or triadic activity, so that's good. And they've got some thunderstorms in that area tomorrow, but also I did not see any significant helicity tracks. So that's usually a pretty good sign. And the timing is off. So let's see, let's go back to Wednesday. So here's Wednesday afternoon in that area. So the strongest thunderstorms for Wednesday afternoon, evening, is going to be across southeastern Arkansas. Just this little window right here. Let me look at the data for this. Indicates a potential tornado hazard type. It does have a supercell type classic look to it. Shear looks pretty decent, and instability is there as well. So hence that would be a reason for the slight risk, and a low 2% shading for tornado. So as you are driving to Florida tomorrow, just make sure you use my app to dodge this little group of thunderstorms that'll be in there late in the afternoon. Depending on whenever you leave, if you leave soon enough, you may end up getting out ahead of it and not even have to deal with it. So, but if you do use my app, it will warn you of twisters in the area. So if there's one coming toward you, it will give you the alert, just like it would here in Oklahoma if you're just out and about around town. So you can travel this with that app anywhere you go. If you don't have it, it's called AT's Weather to Go. It is on the Apple and Google Play Store. Let's see here. Let me do one more thing. Sometimes this is interesting. And it's called the Significant Tornado Parameter. It just highlights where the best indices are to see a tornado. And one, it's obviously what they call significant, which means enough to do a little bit of damage, and it does have it kind of in that same area here. The best parameters is eastern Louisiana, from there to, it doesn't make it to Georgia, so it's between Mississippi and Alabama. So really Mississippi is the biggest state tomorrow as far as severe weather goes, as far as the best indices are concerned. Then it does shift overnight into Alabama from there. And then on Thursday, it kind of moves a little bit more toward the coastline, doesn't quite get there. So it does move, say, through Atlanta. Again, stays inland, and it's not nearly as strong. So there's your two regions of storms for tomorrow that may produce a tornado in that area. But that kind of goes to show you, we'll be still wrapping up the end of 2021 in December, and you still can get an environment that has potential for tornadoes. The best time usually is closer to the Gulf Coast because you need the moisture and its ability to come in from the Gulf. And so the closer you are to that, the easier that environment is to set up for a storm system. So there's a lot of ingredients to bake a cake when it comes to tornadoes. So that's definitely one of the ones that you would need if you're looking for that. All right, well, that is it for me. I can get out of here. We shall continue to keep an eye on what's potentially coming our way for this weekend. If you ask me, Aaron, are you super excited? No. Are you slightly excited, cautiously excited? Yeah, just gets a little something. It's neat. I haven't seen anything yet that has given me a 100% boost of confidence that says, bread milk. So I haven't seen anything like that, but at least it's something, and it's the first decent one here of the season. So we'll see what happens. All right, you guys sleep well, and we'll talk again with you tomorrow. Take care.